Hey everybody, how's it going? How's it going? John here, host Rips and Chains. What have you been up to? What have you been doing all weekend? Let me say hey to everybody in the chat here. We got Greg and Jeff is in Hawaii now, and Larry's out there, and Connie's out there, and Connie's in here. Hey Rudy, how's it going? What have you been up to? And hey Annie, what do you guys got going on? What's on your
Haiti.
hook?
I mean, howdy.
What's on your What's on your hook?
What is on my hook? My hook is the Kaleidoscope or the Spirograph beanie by Crystal at Bag a Day. I think that's what she calls it, the Spirograph.
Cool. And I am constructing my cardigan. I've got the whole back almost completely finished. I'm just adding the last row, and then I will do the arms, and then the front, and then I'll construct it, put it all together, and go around the edge, and it'll be done.
Cool,
And
cool.
I checked, and I have too short of arms, so it won't have a cuff. It will just be.
Did you put patch pockets on it as well?
I'm going to put pockets. I have not made them yet. I want to see it together to figure out, because I don't want them as big as the squares, but I want them to disappear so you can't see them. Yeah. So I might just make them not quite as big, but put them right over the same spot.
Are you going to line them with something?
I don't know, because I don't really put anything in my pockets but my hands and maybe a tissue.
Yeah, that should work.
In my cardigan, so we'll see.
Did we, not to change subject, but while I'm thinking about it, because I just saw his name, Greg was the one that taught me how to fix the scissors, correct? Is that what we said?
Yes, it was Greg.
Thank you so much, Greg. I fixed my scissors. I've been meaning to tell you thanks.
Yep.
I learn all kinds of stuff on here.
Yep. But I can show you, this thing really looks beautiful. And I'm not going to work on it tonight because it's all black on black and it's really hard to see. But it's really
no, not at night.
Yes, isn't that cool? So that's the back, and I have one more row right here I have to add to it. And then I will do the front is just one row. And then, so I have to put those on there. But I haven't made those rows. They're still sitting there in the stack. I made 3 rows so I could get the back done, and then I'll work on the rest of it. But I'm super busy couple of days, so I don't know if I'll finish it get it finished till after Ron gets home.
And would you all like to know the knowledge that I achieved today? I learned something new today, something I had no idea of. And I was looking at it, watching. He has taken the state tree from each state, and he's cutting out the shape of the state and making a puzzle with it, wooden pieces. And he was doing Palo Verde, which is the state tree of Arizona. And the Palo Verde has green bark because most of its photosynthesis, instead of being done through the leaves, is done through the bark of the tree. And had never heard of that before. I thought that was really interesting. And John, it was beautiful wood, but he only used oil on it.
Good.
He didn't paint it. But yeah, I just thought that was really cool. I'd never heard of a tree that achieved photosynthesis. I know plants do, but I'd never heard of a tree that did it through the bark.
What do you think a tree is? A tree is a plant.
That's right.
Well, I know, but it's a different type of plant. It's a woody plant. It's a little bit different.
Most plants have a woody texture on the inside. It's not
like rhubarb. Rhubarb's woody.
Yes.
If you let rhubarb go to seed, don't eat it after that. It's like way too fibrous and woody.
Right.
No, but it really is really good to hit your brothers with.
Yeah.
Anything can be a weapon.
Sure. Hey, Mandy, how's it going? What are you up to?
I'm
What's
terrible.
Mandy up to?
But yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, and the wood was, it wasn't like all pale. It had like some, like which I thought was unusual because it's green bark, but it has like a rosy hue when they got the oil onto it, when he got done sanding it and everything. I thought that was
Mhm.
really cool.
Yeah, it's really
Well,
cool. Like you can take like you can take like a lot of wood, like just even just pine. If you take pine, sand it down good enough, and just put oil on it, it totally changes the whole effect of it. It totally
exactly.
changes the whole look of it.
And I also seen that he used, when he was oiling it, he was using a heat gun, not close, not enough to burn the wood, but he said it heated the wood to open the
The
Opens the
pores.
fibers
pores.
of the wood
The
so that the
pores.
oil soaked in better, which I thought
Yeah.
was another cool tip that I had never heard of.
So what else? Since it's a crochet show, what else you can do with
Sorry.
your wood? What else you can do with your wood is as you're sanding it, what you do is take a damp cloth, like do like a 60 or 100 on it. Take a damp cloth, run it across it. It raises the grain, and then you go to a higher sandpaper because like when you wet it down, it raises the grain.
Right.
So you get
Okay,
a
and
finer sand.
you get a finer sand, and then do the same thing. Raise the grain with a damp cloth, and then go to like 180, 300. You can go up to 6,000, but raise the grain every time, and you'll have a mirror smooth finish on your wood.
I think the
I should have
highest.
saved all this for Wednesday.
Yeah. I think the highest sandpaper I have is 3,000
I
or
think
3,500, somewhere like that.
because I
It's
know
really
brown paper bag is actually equivalent to I think a 2,000. Believe it or not.
Oh, I believe it
Yeah.
because when I feel it, there's not much there. I use those high numbers for when I do resin
There you
because
go. Highest number.
you don't want a low count because it will dig into the resin. So you want those high numbers so that it makes it smooth and doesn't dig into the resin.
220, 320. Yeah, 320 is the highest that I use.
Hmm.
I have seen like 5,000, 6,000. I think 9,000 is the highest.
Hmm.
Ooh, I think.
Yeah, I with the resin I go up to the 3,500 on the resin, and then I use buffing pads on my sander with uh, the cream, the buffing cream, and goes over it and does it.
The sanding sealer.
No, it's a buffing cream
Okay, I know what you're talking about.
because it's already sealed. I mean,
Right?
it's
Yeah, that's called the toilet paper they put in schools.
exactly, or gas stations.
80
30 is
paper.
60 grit. 60 grit. I got some 60 grit right here. I got some 60 grit right here. That's freaking gas station sandpaper or gas station toilet paper. 60 grit. I'm telling you. It's the
And it
worst.
takes 10 miles of it to where it won't soak through. I know. Worked in a lot of gas stations. These things I know.
Did you know that my daughter is now a manager of a gas station? She takes her own toilet paper.
My son did. When he worked at Sheets, yes, he did. In his backpack, he took his own. He's like, Mom, he said, that toilet paper's tearing my butt up. I said, we'll take a roll with you.
Yep, she takes her own and she keeps it in her locker or in her office, and has a note on it. And she's told everybody, "Don't you touch my toilet paper,"
My nephew is
because we
now
use
an engineer because he graduated. Uh, you know, saying he got a really good job as an engineer. And Sheets called him because he was a manager at Sheets for about 8 years. And they actually called him and said, well, we wondered if you want to come back to work for us. And he goes, well, he said, if you want to pay me what I can make now, sure, I'll come back and do the job. And when he told him how much he was pulling in here, they're like, we can't offer you that. And he said, well, I'm sorry, I can't take the job. Why would somebody go to school to become an engineer and then go back and be a manager at a gas station willingly when they already had a job?
right.
That makes sense.
they screwed up. They screwed him over is why he quit. If they had not screwed him over, he probably would still be there. But they screwed him over, and he was just like, he said, I don't have to work here. He said, I've got smarts. I'm going to school. I can do something else.
Did you see what Larry wrote?
Yes, that's why I stopped talking. I stopped to read it.
Me too. Hey, Liz.
Like 3 times. So, Greg, we call John Wayne toilet paper rough, though don't take no crap off anyone. Yeah. Hi, Liz.
Hope you're having a great day, Liz. Okay, remember when I won that bingo over on IVB and Jen's bingo night?
Yeah.
They sent me the little thing. It is gorgeous. It is so pretty.
I think I actually won something, but I couldn't remember if I won or not.
Yes, I think you did. Did you send her an email?
Her, so I might have put myself out of it because I never emailed her.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so she sent it to me, and it's a little hook thing to hang off your purse. It's beautiful.
I think it's the same thing I got, or one. Different one, but the same thing.
Yeah. Yeah, it was so pretty. I got to tell her when I see her next.
Yeah, but that was on me because I completely forgot to email her.
Mm-hmm. I'm still waiting on
my brain.
Yeah, I'm still waiting on Mishi's package, but I know that they're getting hit with a lot of very cold and snowy weather that we're not getting hit with anymore.
Yeah, I was supposed to get an UPS delivery today. He got to the end of the road, seen my driveway, left, and rescheduled it. And I was like, if he had called, I would have went to the end of the freaking driveway and got it.
Yeah, like, why do they do like they have the time to come up and put no answer at the door, go pick it up, but you didn't knock on the freaking door, didn't ring the doorbell.
They never knock on my door. They'll leave it on the. I'll go out and literally trip over it when I walk out the door. They never knock on the door. The mailman doesn't even knock on the door.
Why not?
Because they're idiots. Hi, Jeanette. Yeah, but no, John. My driveway's pretty gnarly right now. I mean, we literally went down yesterday, or not. Well, no, today, with pickaxes to break up the ice. He was pickaxing, and I was shoveling it off the driveway. He went all the way down to where the road we live on, hits the highway, and had to chip the ice away where they had plowed the road and piled it up at the end of. It's a main road, and they piled it up to where you couldn't get off our road onto the highway because the ice was like 6 inches deep, and it was solid ice. You couldn't even run. A guy lived above us. He couldn't get his truck to go up over it. And Bill's sitting there. He's like, I can fix that. And he just started chopping at it with the pickaxe. All these men standing there watching him work. Not a damn one of them offered to help.
Yeah. Guess what I got in the mail today?
Mail?
No.
Surprise.
No. 2 heads.
Oh, whose were they?
Heads of what?
They're behind me. Can you see them? They're 2 heads.
Oh, yes. I have many of those.
I'm going to paint
going in my craft room because he said I used to have them lined up on my tall cabinet. I had them all lined up across the top of it, and I've got yarn up there now. He said it was creepy when you go in there first thing in the morning. It was really dim, and the sun was just barely coming. He said it looked like there was a bunch of people just staring down at him.
Well, I'm going to paint. They're white, and I'm going to paint them black.
Hello, Liz.
I want them black.
Oh, I thought you know.
Hi, Jeff.
Hey,
I got my. I already had dinner and cooked or ate and did the dishes. Hi, Jeanette.
Yeah, I'm going to paint them black. I'm going to use them for my hats to take pictures. Okay, John, you know that cowl hood thing that I made?
Yeah, your cowl, yeah.
You know how I made the thing to go underneath?
Yeah.
Okay, the collar. It works awesome. But I found this lady who doesn't do that, but she goes down the front
Like
a
a
great
Scott?
big, yeah, it's like a wainscot or a dicky. And so it keeps your whole neck and chest warm. I thought that was cool.
Jeanette said she got Happy Mail today.
Cool.
What'd you get, Jeanette?
Jeff said he's in Hawaii, so see, I'm dedicated.
Yep. Well, basically, number one, Jeff, either you're drinking again, you're by the pool, or you're bored and you got nothing to do. What time is it there right now? 5? 5?
4 or 5.
10 to 6? No, 10 to 7, 6, 5. Yeah, 10 to 6. No, 10 to 8.
No, can't be 10 to 6.
Why not?
Because
You're in Hawaii.
that would only be 1 hour from California. It's got to be longer, more than that.
2 hours?
Maybe 2.
Jeanette said she got yarn from Louisiana.
Cool. So you got, Pacific is 1 hour behind me.
Right.
So, okay, let's say it's 8 o'clock here, right? And then Pacific is 7 o'clock, and then Alaska is 6 o'clock. So Hawaii would be 5 o'clock.
I think so.
Hush, Jeff.
Well, it's because of the heat from the volcanoes.
Mhm.
Actually, we're supposed to get another inch of snow tomorrow. I was like, yay. Because
They were talking about all these all the California fires going on right now. What's up with that?
half of the United States, half of it's on fire, the other half is buried under ice right now.
Yeah, it's burning up.
Those fires are really bad. I feel so bad for those people.
Well, the problem there's several problems. One, they didn't prepare. They were supposed to cut back and the forests so that they were not overtaking the areas because they were moving into the areas. Secondly, they drained a bunch of the water out of the hydrants. So they're not at peak. They don't have enough water in them. Yeah, it was really very badly taken care of.
Well, they have to run the hydrants through to clear the lines underneath.
No. This is something they've been doing. They were almost dry.
Oh, so
They actually almost emptied them.
they're not letting the reservoirs fill up.
Well, that or they just were draining them and not filling them back up.
I think you just pump the water out of the ocean.
You can't do that.
Why not? Water's water.
It's got too much salt in it. It don't work.
Salt puts fire out.
Yeah, but it will destroy the machines.
No, it's just water.
Ah, you're so...
Water's water. Should just work anyway.
Okay, so we have East. This is the United States time zones. We have Eastern, Central,
Yep.
Mountain, Pacific.
Yep.
2 others are Alaska, which is Standard Time, and Hawaii is ALEUTIAN Standard Time.
Aleutian.
How do you? Yes. So
Aleutian.
Aleutian.
It's part of Alaska.
Right. So it is an hour
Before Alaska.
Before Alaska. So if
it's 2 hours from you.
No.
Yeah.
What? No. I'm Central Time.
Okay. So you're right. Yeah. So it's 2 hours before California. So it's 3 hours before me.
Right. 4 hours before me.
Yeah.
So if it's 9 right now, he says it's 4:53. That's what I was just going to say. It's 4:53 there. Now my niece, who lives in New Zealand, she's almost into. Let's see. Tomorrow's almost over. Because in the morning, it's like the next day's afternoon.
the next day's afternoon.
Yeah. She always tells us Happy New Year on the 31st. Hey Ivy, I got the little thing I won on the bingo, and it's beautiful. I love it. It's so
Hey,
sparkly.
it
It is
sparkles.
so. It's very sparkly.
Sparkly.
Hey Tracy.
And Ivy, sorry, I forgot to email you. Hi, Tracy. Welcome in. Sorry, I had to go look something up real quick.
So guess how long it took me to water my plants today?
4 hours.
10
Yep.
seconds.
4 hours.
She got a lot of plants.
So
She got a lot of plants.
Why have you set up a drip system in the house yet?
Okay, so with plants, I have some that are self-watering, but some plants do not like. They like to dry out completely before they get water, because if not, you'll get root rot. And then some plants like to stay wet, but not super wet. It's just every single one of my plants is totally different. And I got 4 new plants this week, so I had to. Sorry. I had to repot those.
Yeah. Okay, Jeff. You say you rescued them. Rescued plants, did you?
Well, no, this was 2 plants that I really, really have been wanting. But normally the one, every time I see it, they're asking like $70 for it. And I'm not spending that much money on plants.
What is it?
It is a Monstera Thai Constellation.
Ooh.
And so the leaves, or the whole plant, if it ever gets this big, it'll take up a quarter of my living room, because the leaves will get like this big.
Yeah,
right
they're
back there.
huge. They're beautiful plants, though.
They are. And so that's one of the plants that I've been wanting. And so I got one, and it was only $7.99. And it has 3 big leaves already, like this big.
Well, that sounds like a hell of a deal.
Exactly. And then I also got the plant that has the little red, I can't think of the name of it. It's got red leaves with the yellow little stem coming out of it. I can't think of what it's called. But my daughter has one, and I love it. So I got it. And then 2 days ago, I got Calthea and another one that has striped leaves. I can't even think what the name of it is. Mandy, do you do plants too?
You could do what my sister does, Connie.
What's that?
She just goes in, pinches a leaf off, take it home. Shit you not. She sticks it in the dirt, and it will grow every time. I have never seen anybody with a green thumb like hers. She can make anything grow.
Well, I don't. Okay, so I bought some tubers, and I planted them, and now I've got all these different plants that are arrowhead shapes. They're all different colors. And oh, I would love a butterfly begonia.
Yes,
But
I love my begonias.
But yeah, so I've got a whole bunch of those. They just came out of the ground, and they're giving me leaves and stuff. And then one of my plants died, and I said goodbye and just threw the dirt away and cleaned out the thing and the pot and used it again. I'm not picky on certain things, like my crocus. No, that's not how we call it.
All right, I got a question. When a plant dies, do you bury it?
I was getting ready to ask her the same thing.
In the garbage
Give a
can.
funeral for it.
No.
Why in the garbage can? No. But honestly, like if you just bury it, it might just it'll refertilize
I
the ground.
actually did that with a spider plant. I thought it was dead, and I dumped it out into my flower bed. It was in the fall, and I just like dumped it out. You know, was cleaning the pots and put my pots away off the porch. And the next spring, it came up.
I throw the dirt into the flower bed, but the plant itself, it was dead. There was no life to it. So I just threw that part away. But the dirt I do put in the flower beds or in my pots outside and out front.
Hi, Mary. Welcome in.
Yeah,
Hey, Mary.
none of my plants go in hibernation. They live all year. But yeah,
Like back when we were in the city in Edmonton, we would go to the greenhouse. We would just buy like all kinds of plants. I didn't care what they were as long as they looked cool.
mm-hmm,
Cool looking plants were always the best plants. And I didn't care about the care instructions, didn't care whatever. I planted them where I felt they needed to go,
right.
and they always grew, and they always came back.
I got
Nope,
a
that's an annual. Nope,
beautiful
it's like no,
palm
it's like no
plant
that.
from Lowe's that it was marked down to $1.69. It was regularly $69.99, but it was on its last legs. I told Bill, I said, "Oh, get that. I'll take it home." I said, "It's gonna, what? It's already dead. What can I do to it?" And I had that thing for about 9 years. In the
Yeah.
wintertime, it came in. It went into the guest bathroom because nobody ever used the shower in there after Andrew left home. And I would leave it in there in the wintertime. I would give it a shower every like once a week and dust the leaves and everything, and it thrived.
Oh yeah. Well, I was gonna say Mandy said that she saved an orchid. I got was given an orchid once, and it was they said to use 3 ice cubes a week to
Yep.
water it. That kills them. Totally kills your orchids. So I have found out now. I don't have an orchid. I want to get one. Now you wait till it dries. Then you put water in a container and you sit it down in the water, um, but you don't let the leaves get wet. And you wait till all the roots turn green because they used when they're dry they turn silver. So once they turn green, you take them out and put them back in the pot. You have a little you it has a clear usually a clear pot, and then you just put it back into the other pot. Wait till it's dry again, and orchids can live forever that way. Yes,
I,
from the bottom
yeah,
up. You
I've
put it
tried
down in
orchids
water.
3 times, killed them every time, and I was like, I'm not spending that much money on a plant just to kill
Yeah.
it again.
All my plants get watered from the bottom, except for the ones that are self watering because I don't want to take them out. So I just pour it down the side. Some of it goes in the dirt, some of it goes down the side into the bottom.
We're going to try
I
to do our potatoes in a container this year to see because they will not grow in this ground. I don't know what it is about this ground, but potatoes and onions does not like this ground. They will not grow.
mm,
And I was like, we're just going to make some raised beds for the potatoes and onions. I might
It
do
might
half
be
of it in
might be
lettuce.
too much of something in the ground.
I don't know.
uh,
It
Jeanette,
will not grow.
Jeanette says Jeanette says our Christmas cactus is still blooming.
I
We
want
had
Christmas. I
My
we have
want
a
one.
sister's is still
we have
blooming. I have
a
never got one to bloom. My
we have a
sister
Christmas
blooms every year.
we got a Christmas cactus inside, and it blooms. It's probably 30 years old now. Like it's in this huge freaking like 20
Yeah.
30 inch pot, right? 30
Hmm.
inch by probably 30 inch pot. It blooms all year long.
Yeah, I want a Christmas
We
cactus.
we just peel the flower like when the flowers open up and bloom, like you can see the buds coming out. They open up, they bloom, they look pretty for a couple of days. We just peel them off and throw them to the tortoises. Tortoises just love them.
Well, I will tell you, I have I have 3 cloas, and 2 of my cloas are 4 feet tall, huge. They're close, and they're huge. And then um, I do have a golden pothos that is over 70 years old. It was my grandmother's. Then she gave it to my mother, and then my mother gave it to me. And I have propagated it and got lots of pothos.
I could not believe when my sister moved back up here from Georgia, she left our mom loved roses. She had a rose garden way away from the house because I'm severely allergic to them. But
Hmm.
she babied these roses. I mean, they're beautiful. When Dad moved off the farm, he dug them up and put them in pots, and he had them until he passed away. Then my sister took them. She took them down to Georgia and planted them, but she didn't dig them up and bring them back. And they were
Oh,
probably 25, 26 years old.
oh man.
And I was just like, wait. I said, she's like, well, you don't even like roses. I said, no, I like roses. I said, roses just don't like me. I said, but I like to look at them from a distance. I said, as long as I don't breathe in the smell or touch them, I'm good. I can look at them.
When
I
I
just
went down,
that, you know, something, plants that have been in the family for so long and then just leave them down there.
when I went down to my son's wedding 8 years ago, we stopped by at some campsite. They had all these wild cactuses out in the field. We just like, hey, let's bring some cactuses home, right? We could just took a shovel, rooted them up, brought them home. They were in the front garden for 6 years. They just died off.
Yeah.
You want to hear a funny story about cactuses? I did not know you could grow cactuses outside in West Virginia. They will thrive. And I planted some in my flower bed one year. And I was just like, yeah, we'll see, because they were on their last legs. They perked up and they were really pretty. And it was on Thanksgiving, or the eve of Thanksgiving, and I was baking, and a truck pulled in. When we lived out on the farm, pulled up on the road in front of our house. But I mean, the road was a good distance away. But just put his truck in park and started revving the engine. And he kept revving and revving and revving. And I hollered at Bill, and I said, he's going to blow the engine up in that truck. And I mean, smoke was rolling out of it. Well, then suddenly, just as Bill got to the door, the cab of the truck, the engine, there was flames coming out of it. Now, it's in the fall of the year. There's a whole hillside of trees and dry leaves. And then our barn. And Bill's like, shit, you know, and he said, call the fire department. He said, by the time they get out there, the barn was going to be gone. And because it was just too much room, you know, there wasn't no way to put it out up there. So Bill goes down. He gets this dude and he's hollering at him. He's like, you need to get out of the truck. And he was like slumped over the steering wheel. And Bill finally got the door open and started trying to drag you. He started fighting with him. And he punched Bill in the face, and Bill elbowed him in the nose and knocked him out and drug him out of the truck and kind of rolled him over towards the creek because his pant legs was on fire. And he started beating on his pant legs. Well, the guy just jumped up and started swinging at Bill, and Bill just put his hand out. He said, dude, I just saved your freaking life. What the hell's wrong with you? And he took off running for the house. Well, when he ran for the house, Bill was after him. And because, I mean, there was nothing he could do in the truck. When they get halfway to the house, the guy turned around and he goes, oh, I got shells in the cab of the truck and a gun. And Bill's like,
lovely.
And so he said, call the fire department and tell them that there's shells in that truck before they come up on it. And he called his mom. He said, get everybody in towards, you know, the other end of the house. And he's hollering as Bill was coming up the yard. He said, lock the doors. So I run and lock the front and the back door, and he starts pounding on the back door and pounding on the back door. And Bill grabbed him. Well, when he grabbed him, we had it wasn't really a porch. It was more what they call a stoop. It was enough where you could open the door and go in the house. Or, you know, no other route, a couple of steps. He knocked him off the edge of it into the cactuses. He had Carhartt overalls. These cactus spines went through the Carhartts into his ass. And the guy started screaming. He's like, you're killing me. You're stabbing me. And Bill's like, I'm not touching you, dude. He said, get up. And he kept trying to pull him up. And he was so out of it. He was drunk, was what it was. His wife had just left him. He decided he was going to blow his truck up and kill himself. And right in front of our house, great place, do it on your own fucking property. Don't take somebody else's property out with you. So the fire department finally gets out there. And Bill ran down to tell him that there were shells in that truck. And they sprayed the truck down first. And then they started spraying the hillside. And that guy, the cop's trying to catch him. He's running all over our yard, all around our house, banging on the windows. And he come up and he's like pulled up in the window and he's looking at me. He said, if you don't let me in, I'm going to kill you. And I said, if you don't get the fuck away from my house, I'm going to kill you. He goes, oh, God. And he jumps back away from the window. I don't know what he expected. So
hey, Jojo.
Dude.
Hey
there. And he was going to sue us because it cost him over $1,000 to get all the cactus spines picked out of his ass. I don't know if you've ever had to do that, but it hurts to pull cactus spines out of your body. They have a
Boy,
little orb on the end.
you got
So
a
when they
barb on
go
'em.
in, instead of wanting to come out, they just keep working in further and further. Oh yeah, and his attorney looked. He goes, "You can't sue him for that. One, because you were on their property illegally. You were trespassing, and you were drunk." And he's like, "But I don't want to pay all this out." And he said, "Well, you're not going to have to pay it till you get out of jail anyway." Because it was malicious. What do they call it? Where you tear somebody else's stuff up, and he arson. Because he was deliberately trying to set that truck on fire, which caught the hillside on fire, which caused a wildfire. And oh yeah, it went on for like 3 years before I was just like, I don't care what they do. I was like, what are they going to? They can't squeeze blood out of a turnip, and we didn't have nothing in it. But yeah, I kind of ruined Thanksgiving that year. I was really mad because my rolls went flat. I burned 200 pies. My cookie dough was out on the counter and was ruined. There was no rescue. Oh yeah, don't ruin my favorite holiday, dude.
Hey, Joe.
Yeah, most exciting Thanksgiving we ever had. Hi, Connie or Joe.
Joe, you're late.
Hey,
What
John.
do you do?
Joe, you're late.
I know. I had some issues.
Mama.
Sounds like it. I can hear motorboat yelling at you. Right now.
Something saying motorboat's not happy.
What do you want? Really? She got wet food this afternoon, and ever since then, and she wants some food now. She's
Nothing
letting me
else
know
is satisfying her.
she wants more wet food, and she's not getting any more. He's been giving her wet food every day, and he comes over because he thinks she's too skinny. He thinks you're skinny.
All she's gonna do is shit it out.
Uh-huh. Are you skinny?
She's like
not?
Misty. Misty eats like a daggone 3 cats her size, and she's still skinny. It's like,
Well, I told him because he's like, well, when I'm at home, and he's got lucky. That's a tuxedo cat. He's like, I'm playing with that cat, and I come back here. She's not but skin and bones. Oh my God. No, she's not. He's like, I feel better if she puts a little bit of weight on. Hey, whatever. Think you're skinny. You're starving to death. What he said. You're not starving to death, are you? No, I didn't think so. You don't need anything, do you?
oh, I got booted out last night, Connie. That's why I didn't come back.
Mm-hmm.
I figured.
And Herb said he was going to be gone for a while, and I was like, it's late. I'll just go to bed.
Well, I ended up leaving. I don't know if Joe waited around. I don't know, but I left.
Yeah, I talked to Herb for a little bit.
Yeah,
and then he decided he was going to go in the recliner. So yeah, that's why I left him too.
I left about 10:20 or so.
It was around 11, a little after when we left.
We hit a patch of black ice on the way to take Bill to work. I seen it in the lane, and I was trying to go around it, but I still caught like the outer edge of it in the car. The rear end started sliding, and Anthony's going, ooh. I was like, oh, don't even get used to that. Bill said, what happened? I said, I hit black ice. Did you not feel that? He goes, oh, I thought you was just swerving around. I was like, yeah, icy roads. I'm just going to swerve around on purpose.
I do it all the time. It's like it's like motorcycles in the summertime, just doing this back and forth just to get the even rubber on your tires, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's why you do
a little bit
it in the
different than a
wintertime
car
too.
on icy roads.
No.
What I did like about driving last night, there was only like 5 other cars on the road. No traffic, which is optimal. Because then you don't have to worry about the other idiots not watching what they're doing.
Something was weird on the highway today. There was eight cop cars So there's one hill you come up. So before it used to be a while ago, used to be a passing lane and another lane. So there was a curb lane, a passing lane going northbound. The southbound there was oncoming traffic, and they twinned the highway. So there's two lanes on the other side. And there's still three lanes on the one side. And today, coming back from Valley View, there was like 9 cops parked, angle parked in the curb lane with enough spaces between each one that they could pull vehicles over. I'm thinking it must have been like a spot check or something, but it was in the daytime. It was like 3:30. I'd never seen that before.
Well, then nobody's expecting it. See, you have a lot of day drinkers. Hey,
Yeah,
Ladybug,
never,
I'm doing good. I hope you're doing okay.
never seen that. Hey, Taffy, what you up to?
They had
Hey,
all the fire departments out today to a gas station for a fire that turned out to be a woman decided she was going to set her fast food bag on fire on the sidewalk next to the gas station.
Why?
Why?
I don't know. Why do people do anything? Idiot.
People are
I'm going to say idiocy. That's going to be my, right. It couldn't be anything else.
burning her trash.
Yeah, I mean, she went to, I think it was like Dairy Queen or something. She ate her food, wadded the bag up, set the bag on fire on the sidewalk.
Oh Lord.
Hello, it's Rainy Yarn.
Hello, everyone in chat. I can't see the chat, but hello, everyone.
But yeah, I mean, that's a great misuse of fire services at this time of year.
Yeah.
Because they had 3 different fire departments because it was a gas station. 3 different fire departments deployed.
Did anyone think about getting a bottle of water and pouring it over there and putting it out?
Oh, one of the people that lives, because it's like in a residential area, all they seen was the gas station and smoke when they called the fire department. And the gas station was on fire. Realistically, they should have went and seen where the smoke was coming from first.
Well, I see where they're coming from, though.
And I mean, by the time they got there, one of the employees had already got the fire extinguisher and put it out because they can't use water. They're supposed to use the fire extinguisher in that case because of the gas pumps. Yeah. And I was just like, I hope they need to. She needs to be fined heavily for her stupidity because that was just ignorant.
Well, misuse of public, of fire
emergency
department.
Services. Yeah.
Yeah, emergency services.
No, Greg, but they should have. She would have froze solid in just a few minutes right now, but oh well.
And she'll claim that she didn't call him.
And
Yeah.
no, she didn't. No, the lady that did it, one of the other employees grabbed her by the arm. She was getting ready to take off, and he goes, "You're not going anywhere." He said, "You're going to sit right here till the cops get here." She goes, "Well, it was an accident." And he said, "How do you accidentally set a bag on fire?"
Right.
I was lighting a cigarette, and he goes, "Where's the cigarette?"
It's in the bag. That's why it's burned up.
When they patted her down, she had no cigarettes, but she did have a lighter.
What was her last one?
Yes.
No, they could have found the remnants of it.
And
even if it was burnt up.
A lot of people were like, "Well, maybe she's a meth head," and I was just like, "That's in this area. It's quite possible. I mean, meth is really, really rampant in this area, so that is quite possible."
Awesome, Ladybug.
So, Connie, I know you're working. You're making your cardigan off of a picture, right?
Yes.
Without a pattern.
Right.
So somebody sent me a picture the other day. Said, "Can you make this?"
Okay.
Like, yeah. Okay. I can make an attempt at it.
Uh-huh.
Because I'm not a proficient crocheter yet, right?
Right.
But I'm like, yeah, I can do that. That's like I can do that. That's easy. I can do that.
Uh-huh.
Oh, well, since you're making a top hat for my cat, can you make a bowler for my other cat? Yeah, I can do that. I can do that too.
Mm-hmm.
Now I'm making cat hats.
Like those ones I put in the chat.
Yes.
Those are actually fairly easy to make.
So the top hat, it's pretty straightforward, right?
Right.
Magic circle, bring it out, like you increase it out, then straight down,
Right.
and then they like I zoomed in on the picture, and the brim part looks pretty simple as well, and
Mm-hmm.
then the bowler is basically just the same as my penguin, just a round part with the rim around it, right?
Right.
But
Ladybug
I did
is.
ask him. But I
Go
did
ahead.
ask him. I said, give me the inside measurement and the outside measurement of their ears, and how the depth of them too. So I actually drew like I got a little picture on my table here that I drew the circles, like for the hat size.
Cool.
Well, that's a good
So,
idea.
so I just got
Yeah.
to match that up to that.
Yeah,
I'm like, what?
that's a good idea. Problem solving at its best.
So then I went to the site where he found this picture. I said, "Oh, did you know that this cat has its own Facebook page with all these freaking hats?" He's like, "Oh, look at the I like fish. There's a fish one or a shark one, and freaking all these flowers, and pumpkin."
That's because I sent that to you and you went and looked at it. Yeah. It's a whole website. It's a whole, yeah.
Yeah,
It's
I got
got,
it from somebody else. But I got it from somebody else though.
yeah. Yeah. That's what it is. It was Facebook and it's a whole page and it's just hats for cats.
And I'm like,
Ladybug is working on a blanket for her granddaughter, the Victorian lace. Ooh, I bet that's going to be
Awesome.
pretty.
It's
ooh.
beautiful.
And Greg wants to know if we seen where a drone hit a water bomber in California. No, I did not. But
I didn't,
I
and it doesn't surprise me.
I heard about it, and then the bomber had they're actually reassembling the drone to find out who it belongs to, like the serial
Mm-hmm.
numbers and things like that, whether it's a commercial one, and why they were even flying it up
probably a
there.
rubbernecker that didn't know have enough sense to not get in the way of something like that,
Well,
or a news
like,
station.
but depending on the size of the drone, you're only allowed to fly them at a certain height, like no more than
Yeah,
4,000
and you're
feet.
not supposed
You
to
got to be
do
in
it
certain
in
areas.
air traffic.
Well, they've been having issues with people and drones in the United States lately. Hi, Angela.
Hi,
I am
Angela.
gonna. I will be
Hey,
right back.
Okay.
Hey, Angela. Yeah, exactly, Mary. New job, open opportunities. Victorian lace.
I bet that's pretty. What color are you doing it in, Ladybug? I'm just out of curiosity. I did get to see a picture of the new baby. She looks so much like Lorelai when she was a baby. Which, I mean, they're sisters, so it stands to reason, but I was surprised.
When did she have the baby?
Last Monday, baby's a week old today. He said it punched a fist-sized hole in the leading edge of the wing. Just when they need them the most, too.
Yeah. Well, I know that they're Alberta's sending down 40 wildfire a crew of 40 wildfire fighters up from here down to California.
Hello and good night to you, Chris.
Hey, Chris.
Thanks for coming in.
Last I heard, there was like 25 deaths.
Yeah, I think that was the last thing we heard on the news. After the inauguration crap ended. We now have a no-neck governor. The dude has no neck. I shit you not. He's about 5 foot even and has no neck. And he's about as big around as he is tall. And he's an idiot. My opinion.
Oh,
That's my opinion.
yeah.
Greg said it was a Quebec water bomber. So I guess one Canada sent down.
No, like no, Mary. I knew exactly what you're talking about. Yeah, cat hats. Like don't even like cats. I'll listen. I'll listen to
John's place
I'll
will be known as the Cat Hat House.
I'll listen to Motorboat, and I'll talk to Motorboat, and I'll offer Motorboat treats. But I'm not a cat person.
Mm-mm. John just likes listening to me talk to her. Or talk back.
Well, I like to the Motorboat talk to you while you're snoring.
When you did that, her head snapped around like, what the hell is that? Oh, Lord.
Went to look for Cash last night. God, what time did I get kicked off here? Like midnight, Joe? Something like that for me.
No, it was before that because Connie left before 10:30.
I went out and I was like looking around, and all of a sudden I see this big poof of snow in the yard. He buried himself up in freaking snow and was just laying out there. He's an idiot. I was like, you don't have Eskimo dog in you. Stop doing that. And then come in here and try to dry off on my legs. See, light gray, charcoal gray, and red scarlet. Ooh. Oh, that sounds pretty. That red's really going to pop against those collars. Life with animals.
They make it fun.
They make it interesting, that's for sure. And you never get bored because they're always up to something. I'll tell you what was just made my heart feel good today. Whoever had Holly before must not have had another dog for her to play with, because Cash would try to play with her and she would just kind of sit there and stare at him like he was crazy. And they started playing together today. And she stopped and looked at me. I said, get him. I said, don't take that shit off him. And she dive bombed him and rolled him over on his back and had him by the throat and chewing on his ears and pulling his tail with her teeth. I was like, that right there is why I got her. That's what I wanted to see. Because that's what Cash needs. He needs somebody to go wrestle around and play with him. They rolled all over the living room. When they started barking, I said, no, if you're going to bark, you have to go outside and do it. And they went out in the middle of the yard and just rolled in the snow and played. I watched two little kids get together. I got to get them a longer rope because they want to play tug of war, but the rope I got is only like 6 inches long. It's not long enough because Cash basically just drags her all over the house with it. She holds her own with him, though. She does pretty well. Hello, Seblas. Welcome in. True, Ladybug. They could have been looking for people, but they are still not supposed to be in air traffic space when there's planes flying. They should know that as a pilot for the drones where they're not supposed to be.
I'm back.
Welcome back.
Okay.
So, for anyone in the chat that does not know, I have another channel and I have changed the name of my channel. It's going to be more focusing on crocheting and just DIYs than the other one, than my the way it used to be. Here is the link to that channel, and I will be going live on Thursday. Wait, see. On Thursdays. Yes, Thursdays at 8 p.m. Central Standard Time.
Well, if you need any ideas, I'd like a DIY on your coffee wall. I love your coffee wall. And I have enough coffee cups to do that with. I was like, I even have a blank wall in my kitchen I can put it on.
I'm going to tell you, it was super, super simple. Literally, I just went to Lowe's. I got wait, 12 or two 12-foot 1x2s in just poplar or pine or whatever color wood you want. And then I cut them, made sure I had 4 that were 4 feet long, and I stained them 4 different colors. So I have one's deep with a red tone, one is like a really dark, and then a lighter one and more one that's just different hues of different stains I used. Then I got these little hooks from Walmart. I put 6 on each of the sticks, and then I just hooked them on the wall unevenly. Then I went to Joann's and got the letters, coffee. I also have Christmas ones that I didn't put up this year that are the letters for coffee. The other ones are painted gold, and then I stained the rest of them the same colors as the other. One of them I think is gold and one is copper of the letters, and I just put them on the wall. That's it.
That
And I've made
I have all these cups that I have collected over the years because I collect coffee cups or mugs. Every time I say something, I say I collect coffee cups. Somebody comes up with these little tiny demi like teacups. You remember the really delicate China
Yeah.
teacup? I was like, that's not a coffee cup. They're like, what? You can't. I was like, yeah, but there's only like a sip of coffee in there. I was like, I want a coffee cup. I was like a half a pot of coffee when I pour my coffee.
Right.
So yeah, I've got all these mugs, and they're just tucked back in the cabinet, and I go through them. Like
Well,
I
will.
use a different one every couple of days. But I'd like to get them out to look at because that's why I collected them.
Right. We have all of those hanging, and then we have 3 shelves completely full up in the cupboard, and we rotate them out.
I
change
have
them.
about 30 coffee cups, and Bill has 2 cups that he uses for his tea.
I have 2 cups. I trade them out every day, but I've had them for 23 years.
Well, we have those too. I'm not even counting about those.
I have
It's
those.
the only
Those
thing
are
I use.
traveling.
It's the only thing I use.
And everybody thinks it's funny because I'm the only one that drinks, because they're like, why do you have so many coffee cups? And I'm like, just depends on my mood when I get up in the morning, which one I want to use.
Right.
I have one that says sunshine on it. Maybe I need to be in a good mood that day.
Well, okay, so the ones that are hanging up on the thing, that's 24 cups that hang up on the wall. And make sure you put that when you screw them on the wall, you screw them into a stud.
Yeah.
Because they're carrying a lot of weight. And then up in the cupboard, there's probably another 20 or more in those 2 shelves. And then on the other shelf, I have clear glass coffee cups, because I love clear glass coffee cups. I got the ones that are tall stem ones, and then I have bigger ones. We have skull ones, and we have all kinds of different ones.
Now, Bill, I want to build him a shelf for his, because he collects shot glasses. And I've got him a really cool, and it's a shot glass that's actually shaped like a skull. And I've got him decanters with skulls. One decanter is a skull, and the other one's blown glass, and the skull is blown into the center of it. And it's really cool because that's his thing. And just like, well, I guess I'll just put him up there. He's got one whole shelf of the cabinet for his stuff, and then the rest of the kitchen is mine. Because,
what was that?
Sorry, Holly. I have a board up across the front door, so I can leave the door open because I'm too hot, so Holly can't get out without me knowing it.
Oh.
And she's doing good about staying in the yard, but when it's this dark, I don't want to have to go chasing after her.
Yeah, true, Mandy. I was a substitute teacher for like 3 years. Got coffee cups then, and I also repurposed those and made them into gifts and gave them back to teachers, to other teachers. And I was a preschool teacher, and I always got mugs for that too.
The very first coffee cup, when I decided to start collecting cups, Bill got me one. I think it was our fourth Valentine's Day. It has hearts all over, and it's got a little teddy bear holding a red heart, and it says "I love you" from the tip of your toes to the top of your head, and everything else in between. And
Hmm.
I still have that cup. It's over almost 30 years old, but I've that was the cup that set off my collecting. And I told him it
Yeah.
was his fault. If he never bought me that cup, I wouldn't have thought about it.
Well, I made my daughter. I bought a coffee cup, a white coffee cup at uh, the Dollar Tree, and I used my Cricut, and I made I cut out words, and it says, "Yes, leave me alone. This is a resting bitch face." Yeah.
We got 1 year. It was for our social studies teacher. He was such an ass. Nobody liked this guy. Well, some of the girls liked him. Every 2 years he would marry one of the girls, senior girls that was graduating. He would divorce the wife he had and marry another one. Yeah, I don't know how
Oh,
you guys were over 18, so yeah, I thought it was a little sus too because he had him from seventh grade to senior year. And
That's
1 year
disgusting.
we went to Spencer's in the mall, and I found a
Hmm.
cup, and it's like, oh, we got to get him a Christmas present. I said, okay, so I got it. Didn't tell anybody what it was. I said I got him a mug, and they're like, okay. So because he always had coffee on his desk, made him a cup of coffee, put it on his desk, and he's like, oh, he said this is a great cup, I love it. And as he was drinking the coffee through the class, I kept waiting and waiting, and I
It
kind of had
disappeared.
nope, it had a big dick in the bottom of it. And when you drain a cup, it says you're a dick. And he's like, who bought this? And I was like, I did because, I believe in telling the truth. Yeah, I got detention. Damn. It was worth it. If you could have just seen the look on his face. But his wife said he still had it when he died.
Gee.
Yeah, I always thought that was kind of weird that, at first nobody was catching on, and I kept thinking, every woman he marries graduated from here. He had her in class. So
That's
to me, that's
disgusting.
grooming.
Yeah. Ladybug says, question: do you let people use those cups that are your favorites? Um,
Yes, I do, Ladybug, but I warn them ahead of time that it's one of my favorite mugs. Please be careful with it. That's all I say.
I do not. My husband is the one who always gets everybody coffee, and he gets generic ones and not my favorite. Because if you look on, of course, you can't see my wall very well. Jessica, my oldest daughter, has a row, and my husband has a row, and I have a row, and then we share a row. Usually, I tell him to get a cup out of the cabinet, which are not my favorites usually, but some of them are. I won't let people touch.
I have I have one that my dad bought me that was smart as I am. It's a metallic. It was a metallic. Had like a metallic paint on it.
Uh huh.
It's metallic. I didn't think. I stuck it in the microwave.
Oh, not
Yeah.
good.
So now it looks like it was crackled,
Yeah.
and I don't drink out of it anymore. But I kept the cup, and I have one. I have my mom's coffee cup that she always drank out of. It's in my china cabinet. It's not with my other cups.
Yeah.
That's the only ones I don't allow anybody to use. I have one. I have a knitting mug, Jeanette. I don't have any crochet mugs yet.
You mean mugs that look like
Well,
cro-
this one looks like a skinny yarn with
okay,
the
so
ball band.
I have two that look like a skein of yarn, and then we have three that look like a sleeve that's been crocheted.
Yeah, yeah. No,
So,
I do have one like that. I'm sorry. So I have two knitted ones. Uh, I got that one, the one that looks like a sleeve at Tuesday mornings. Is that what the name
Uh-huh.
of the store?
Yeah.
Had one for a while, but I was disappointed in the ones that look like a scheme because that lip is rolled in,
Yes, it is.
so you end up spilling whatever you're drinking all over your mouth and
I don't.
down your front.
I
So I
don't.
don't drink out of it. I just use it to hold my double point needles.
Do you have? I don't have any issues with those.
I do not like the way that lip is made.
I had
I
to get
like the
used to
lips
it.
that roll out. I don't like the lips that roll in.
Yeah, I had to get used to it, but I don't have a problem with it. My Yeah, I mean it goes in, but it doesn't bother me. I just have to drink it a tiny little bit different.
Oh, by the way, Connie, remember
Yes.
we was discussing the other night that I said my sister asked me what I would do if I was without,
Uh-huh.
and hey, I made it 18 hours,
Good. Awesome.
and then I caved. But I made it 18 hours,
Yeah.
and that was not even. I didn't even get like crotchety or anything, and
Well,
we
that's
just
good.
I had to go pick Anthony's medicine up, and it was right next to the gas station where I had to also put gas in the car, and I was like, oh, I'll get some while I'm in here.
Yeah.
For once, went to pick his medicine up, and not only was it ready, I was the only one in the drive-through. I pulled up. I was like, oh, because that drive-through was like 6 inches of ice. I was like, please don't let there be any other car. And yeah, pulled up. There was nobody else there but me. Probably because nobody else wanted to put their car on that ice. But I also did want to get out of the car again.
Well, our snow and ice is almost gone, and we're supposed to get on the 18th. We're supposed to get another ice storm, but it will only
They
last
said we're going to
one.
have a polar vortex hit us next week.
Well, that's what's on the 18th, but it's only going to last one day.
After this crap, one day will be enough. Because this hasn't even melted yet. That I'm not even worried about the piling of the snow. It's the ice in my driveway. I just got it to a manageable level, and it's going to snow again.
Well, I've got one patch in my driveway that I'm gonna. I put ice melt on. It's all breaking up. I just need to push it off tomorrow, so that the driveway will be dry, and my sidewalks are all dry now. So, but I made my.
Anthony got him out 4 Capri Suns last night. He opened every one of them up, lined them up on the counter in the kitchen, and stood there and proceeded to drink all 4 of them.
Who did that?
Anthony.
Oh,
Now, if you put them in a glass, he will not drink juice out of a glass. It has to be Capri Suns. That's all. It's been that way since he was little. Except for
right.
orange juice. He'll drink orange juice out of a glass. But I was sitting there looking at him. I was like, if you're that thirsty, why don't you drink water? And he went, ew. I was like, oh, guess what? And he's just like looked at me and just held his arm out. And I put a bottle of water in his hand. And I said, now drink that.
Mm-hmm.
The only time I can get him to drink water without a fuss is in the car. Because I always keep water in the car. I keep 2 bottles. His bottle's in the front holder and mine's in the back holder. Because with sickness going around, I don't want anybody drinking after each other. And I told him, I said, this one's yours, this one's mommy's. You don't drink this one. And then I keep one in each side pocket of the door. Because I ain't going out in this weather without water in the car. Well, Ladybug, my husband said that he's been looking for a mug. He wants one that says Queen Bitch, and he wants to give it to me because, I am, and he knows it and respects the title.
I just make cups that say the things
I
that I
want to
want to
get me
say.
a cricket. I have an old, you remember the first crickets where you had to
Use the cartridges.
crank and you crank it through. That's what I have. But I would like to get one of the newer ones where it will cut the vinyl and all that.
Yeah, they're so much nicer because I had one of the old ones and I was so glad to get
I
the
think
new
I've
one.
only used it. Well, it was given to me because somebody else had it and they weren't using it anymore and asked me if I wanted it. And I was like, sure. I think I used it twice to make I think one was a card for a baby shower, and I made a birthday card. And that was it. I never used it again
Yeah.
because it's kind of a pain in the butt.
I love it with my Cricut because I can design something from my phone, from my computer, from my iPad. I can sit there and design it no matter where I'm at. And when I get home, I just connect to it. I turn on the Cricut, put the the vinyl in, and just hit
See, I
cut,
told my
and it does
sister
it.
she's got one like that, and she said she
Hmm.
can't use it because she needs an HDMI cable for her computer, which I still need to go through my cords and see if I have one for her. So she can't use it, and I was like, I'm pretty sure you can use that through your phone.
You can. It's
And
Bluetooth.
she was like, I don't think so. I said, no, I said, Bluetooth, I think you can do it. And
Yes,
so
it is.
when the weather gets better, I'm going to go up there
Well,
and look at it.
it might be Wi-Fi, but still.
Well, I mean, they have Wi Fi. So
Yeah, so it's not a problem. You could definitely connect to it.
he has shot glasses from a few states, Tracy, but he mainly likes wildlife shot glasses with wolves, uh, bison, bears. His favorite cat is a leopard. He thinks leopards that's the most beautiful cat. Uh, Panthers, and so that's he. I told him instead of just getting a wide variety, pick one thing that he really likes to collect. And he never had collections other than knives. He's got a huge knife collection, which
I was gonna say, Tracy, my oldest grandson, he collects shot glasses, and he likes them. Anywhere we go, we get him a shot glass, and we send it to him. Now we used to just give it to him, but he lives up in Illinois now. But we just anything, anywhere we go, we just get him a little shot glass and send it to him.
and I have two half cups. You have a half coffee cup?
Uh,
It's literally like
Yeah.
a
It's cut,
like
it's cut in
yeah,
half.
it's cut in half. Yes.
the first one. See, my dad's saying you brought him a sip of coffee, a drink of coffee, or half a cup of coffee, but you never brought him a whole cup of coffee. And he only took like 3 grains of sugar in his coffee.
Hmm.
And I was at an antique store and I found this cup that said, I asked for a half a cup of coffee and got it for him. And I waited for him to ask for a half a cup of coffee, made his coffee, and took that out there. And he looked at me, he goes, you're such a smart ass. And I was like, yeah, well, it's me. And then my son went to DC on a school trip. And he's like, my mom wanted a souvenir, but all I could afford was this half a cup. And it's a half cup. So I got them in the china cabinet side by side.
Hey, Joe, you can't see the chat, but Mary's asking you if you have a YouTube channel.
I guess
No,
I
but she's
do.
gonna start one up. No, but she's gonna start one up.
Oh, am I?
Did you bring me that shit wherever you were? It took you way too long to come to the door, so you were out of where you were supposed to be. Take that right
Yeah,
there.
I don't post much of anything. Sometimes I do my community, page.
Oh, and I have an NFL cup that. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, just maybe one day. We'll
My
see.
son's best friend got me an NFL cup from the NFL Hall of Fame with my name on it. Love that cup. Although it don't hold much coffee. It's a criteria.
Well, my daughter bought me and my husband a Ninja coffee pot. That's nice. It's so nice. It's better than we've had a Keurig for years and years and years, and we've always liked it. And this last Keurig that we had did pods, or it did a pot. So we used it. We had the pods that we would fill up the coffee instead of buying the pre-made ones, and we loved it. But she got us a Ninja, and the Ninja will do large cups, small cups. It'll do classic roast, or it will do a stronger roast. It'll do iced coffee. You can do it in a pot, or you can just put your cup underneath there, and it will do. You don't have to use a pod. It just goes through the same spot where the coffee goes in, the grounds goes in.
My sister has one of those. She loves it.
Oh, it's so nice.
Okay, Jeanette says it's time to go to bed. Hospice is coming tomorrow. Good night, Jeanette. I hope
Good
you get
night,
some
Jeanette.
rest.
Night.
Greg, I'm trying to get better at making sure you guys don't know when I'm yawning, because I've been yawning. You just
No, he
said
said
yarning.
yarning.
yawning. Oh, yo, I'm yawning, and
Joe, what are
yarning.
you working on?
Nothing at the moment.
I'm not working on this right now
Joe, you're a dedicated yarner.
because it's too dark. But
To
I
work,
am,
black on
yeah,
black in the dark is I can't do it.
yeah. So this is my cardigan, and this is part of the back, and then I have the other part right here. So I have to put the back on it, and then I have to do the two front panels, and then the arms, and then I will go around the whole thing. Probably 2 rows of white and 2 rows of black, and then the cardigan will be done.
John, that's a lot of hooks.
Well,
That's
it isn't.
more hooks than I have.
Well, the thing is because Timu has all these sales on all the time, right? But you got to try and figure out what's going to work for me, right? So I've been trying different hooks and trying to figure out what's going to work for me, because just like everything else, you got to get what works for you best. And
Right.
that's also why I tried out the prim and the clover and what was the other one I tried out? The prim, the clover. Oh, that's when I made my Franken hook,
Right.
right? So I've been buying these. So these are dollar store. These are dollar store, right? They're cheap little plastic acrylic poured handles,
Mm-hmm.
and like cheap little boys hooks, right?
Hey,
But
I
they're
like boy hooks.
but I'm not knocking them. I just don't like I just don't like boys because they're not sharp. They're not deep enough. They're not sharp enough for me.
It depends on the
They're,
kind. I will use I have different ones, and I want to try more. But I generally will end up going back to either Susan Bates or Boyd, depending on the yarn.
I
have
will. I will tell
because
you that you guys know I have a lot of hooks, and ouch.
I like
Where?
that red set, John. That's pretty.
So I have these 2 sets
I'll get
with me.
I'll get to it.
So I have these sets. So these are, I don't even know what brand it is. They're just these ones, and I love them. Now my grandson and his fiance sent me this set, which almost looked the same, but the shafts are longer.
Yeah, if I get mine like that off of Amazon.
That's where they got it from Amazon. And so I sometimes you need a longer shaft.
Yep.
So I have those, and then I have Boyd's, I have the Susan Bates, I have some really old, I have some antique ones that can't remember their names of them. And then I have probably 7 or 8 different sets.
I've had
And
several people ask me, and they're like, "What's your favorite crochet hook?" And I said, "The one that's in my hand."
yeah, I switch
It
around.
just
Yeah.
depends on the yarn and my mood, honestly.
Right. Well, with my tendonitis and my trigger fingers, the the small metal ones hurts my hands, and so I've gone more to the silicone ones.
Yeah.
But then I'm a knitter too, and I've got like three different sets of knitting needles as well. So
So, John, what is your favorite so far?
Well, just hold on a sec. So this is the original set of boys that Jess sent me when I first started, And like so, I tried them, and I wasn't happy with them. So then I got the Susan Bates one, right?
Right.
That's
This
my
one here,
favorite. Wait.
the multi bit one. So this is my favorite, regardless, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because of how sharp the hooks are, because they're deep, they grab everything, they're pointed on the ends, they're beveled as well, so you can feed it through a hole and pick and pull it back, and you can tell when you're splitting yarn as well with them. So Susan Bates definitely like number one, and then because I started with the thread, I got the Susan Bates steel hooks as well.
Yeah,
But then I
those
was
two.
on, but then I was on Timu and I got this fancy set. It's a no name set, but they're just as sharp as Susan Bates.
See, and
Just
I have some of those and hate them. The sharp ones, I can't stand them. Won't use
see,
them.
but this is a nice set that I got off of Timu as well. Now, these had silicone grips on them, but I did not like the feel of the silicone on my hands. So I'm actually going to make handles for these ones because they work really nice and they're nice color too. So
Yeah.
I'm going to make handles for these ones. But I also,
Am I the only one that will actually sometimes, especially when my eyes are bothering me, I will choose my hook depending on the color of the yarn. I want a contrasting hook.
No,
oh yeah,
I've
No,
never.
it doesn't bother me.
I tried this set once. It's
Ugh.
nice because no, it's actually ergonomic in your hand, right? It fits nice in my hand. The thumb hold on is far enough back you can get a lot of yarn on your hook. So it's got a long shaft on it, but it's
Mm-hmm.
plastic. It's got air vents in it, right?
Yeah.
You can actually put a cord through there to hold them all together. But then I bought this one on Temu, which is a multi-tip bit as well for steel hooks, and they're all steel bits. I
Mm-hmm.
haven't tried it yet, but it shouldn't be. Yeah, but they're not as sharp as Susan Bates. They're like soft like boys ones. I haven't tried a set of furls yet,
I haven't
but
tried furls either.
I ordered this one. This is a multi-bit set as well, and I showed this to Annie last week, and she said that the problem with hers were that these were plastic ends. You said that these tips were plastic, right, Annie? On yours, and they kept breaking on you. But these ones are all aluminum.
The where they screw into the handle, that's where the plastic was that kept breaking.
Yeah, because this is all
Instead of metal
it,
into metal, it was plastic into plastic.
yeah. So they're all aluminum, and there's all aluminum inside there as well.
See, my problem with aluminum is I bend it. I was showing, I don't know if it was Joe or Annie, because I'm a
I don't think.
knitter.
Oh yeah, okay.
Well, look at this. Look at this knitting needle. Do you see how
What do
it
you
is
do?
bent?
What,
Huh?
Connie? You got to relax when you're doing this. You got to relax. It's calming. It's
It is
relaxing.
calming. It is calming.
Your anger right in the beginning. Just calm down.
Her use, she showed me how she holds it. It has nothing to do with her tension. It's the way she holds her needle.
It's the way I hold my needle. And
And when
so,
it's done, I mean, it makes it ergonomic for you because it has curved to your hand.
exactly.
Yeah.
And all of my knitting needles are bent if I've used them. So yeah, it's very bent.
But yeah, John, those I might like better just simply because they're metal. But I also have to make sure that I
So
don't get anything that has nickel in it because I have a severe nickel allergy.
So what do
So
you
I have,
think of those
you have to
purple
look
ones
it
so
up, see,
far?
because they're on Temu.
Have
Oh,
you
I
been
love them.
using those?
Like if you look at the picture, you can see how sharp and deep these are, and they're beveled just like Susan Bates, and they got a point on just like Susan Bates, and they come in this fancy pink carrying case, right? I'm changing this out. I'm building a wooden holder for this.
you don't want to carry a pink case? Come on.
I don't care that it's a pink case. I would prefer a wooden one though, right?
Grim Squirrel says I've broken off the end of acrylic needles before. I need to relax. Haha.
Yeah,
like look how cheap it
Great
is.
squirrel.
It, it's $14, regular 58.43.
do you want to know?
Just
Do you want to
saying.
know what I did to one of my wood, which I won't use anymore? My wood knitting needles broke that sucker in half.
Yep. That is why I don't like the wooden knitting, and I like cable needles. I'm not a big straight needle person. I have a few short straight needles that I
I
use,
have,
but
yeah,
I like my cable needles.
I have cable needles. I have 2 sets, and I don't hardly ever use them unless I need it to be something to be round. But yeah, pretty much I stick with the straight ones.
So
Are
Well,
have
you
you
going to
been
make it have a
using?
hinged lid, John?
what's that?
A hinged lid for the crochet hooks?
Well, see, so what I was thinking about doing was making it like a pen holder, like a pop-up pen holder box. That way I can do a pen holder box and show Larry how it's built and make one for my crochet hooks at the same time. So that it'll just pop up and it'll be right there, my handle, and it'll have the extra bits in the bottom.
Well, that works too.
Yeah.
Oh, and then I have these
Hey,
little
Grandma.
I have these plastic crochet hooks. I won't even try and use them because I'll break them.
What do you think of the purple ones so far, John? Have you tried them yet?
Yeah, I started making this cat hat, right? So I started making this cat hat. So it works good. I like the way, like it's long enough that it fits in your hand comfortably, and this extra bead on the end that actually fits nice in the palm of my hand when I'm crocheting with it, right? Like it fits a nice right in the crook of your hand right there, so it doesn't irritate it.
Yeah.
And like I said, because they're sharp and they're deep, they grab nice because they got the pointed ends on them. They go through real nice too. They're nice. It's a nice
Right.
hook.
Well, I've finally figured out why I prefer the silicone ones over just the straight ones is because of my trigger finger. It gets stuck, and then I can't get it to open to get my crochet hook out, and I'm fighting with my finger because it won't open up sometimes, and so that hurts and it's not comfortable because it's too small in my hand.
See, but I have these silicone ends off these red ones. I don't like to feel them. They just feel like I can't stand the feel of my hand.
Well,
Okay, so they're
mine,
like sticky.
Yeah,
yeah, see, I don't
they're
like them if they're sticky. I
Yeah, I
like them.
don't
The
like
other
it.
set that you have up there, that's what I have. And if they're not sticky, yes. And they're not sticky at all. And my finger doesn't get stuck. There's times where I literally have to pull my finger out of the joint to release it.
Yep, I have one like that. Larry
I have
says his
2.
doctor wants him to try something, but he's not sure he wants to.
What's that? Because
what do
see,
you
look,
got?
it's my finger,
Yeah.
and oh, I got popped.
Now both of my thumbs do that, and my ring fingers on each hand does it.
So
Both my
okay,
both my ring
you
fingers do it.
does anybody actually use these freaking rings, these tension rings?
No, they're stupid.
They're stupid.
I
For
tried
me,
to use them for
they
color
don't
work,
work.
double-ended ones like that, but honestly, I can crochet faster using both colors over my finger and just swapping my colors off as I need. Now, people watch me do color work like that, crocheting, and they're like, I don't know how you do that. And I was like, that's just the way I taught myself to do it.
But what about this fancy snake one? It's only got
Nope.
a single end on it where it goes through his tail.
Nope.
Damn Timu.
I'd wear it for a ring, but I don't think I would actually use it.
Yeah, I wear lots of rings, but I still don't use it.
Yeah, like I tried the double-ended one. I tried the single-ended one. I can't. It doesn't. They don't work for me. They don't work at all.
Yeah, Mandy, I understand. That's why I
I've
went
tried.
to the silicone ones.
I've tried them on different fingers. I've tried them on the inside, the outside, on the inside, outside, side. I tried them everywhere to try and get my tension. Doesn't work for me.
Now, my sister uses one and she loves hers. And I said, more power to you. I said, because it just, to me, it's more work than it has to be.
I feel like I have to clench down, which
Yeah.
is which hurts my hand. So because
I'm also
not only I'm sorry.
I'm also going through a phase of freaking stitch markers too.
We all go through that.
I've
phase.
got hundreds of them.
Yeah.
So
We all do that.
these Sandra Bates stitch markers are crap because they're hard plastic and they break.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Real easy. Now I was
I don't
gifted
like
these,
the
so
U-shaped ones either.
I was
The
gifted
what?
those, so they weren't too bad. Like I don't care because I was gifted them, so I'm not worried that they break on me. Safety pin ones are good. The gold ones are good. These are rubber. They're not really conducive to working with crochet. They're more for
No,
knitting.
that's more for knitting.
Yeah.
See,
I
I'll
still
just
prefer
have to teach you how to knit.
these gold dollar store ones.
Go teach him how to knit now, Tommy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My husband still walks in the room and he goes, "So you knitting and purling and knitting and purling?" I'm saying, "I'm crocheting. I'm not knitting and purling."
Bill learned he just like, are you playing with your yarn? Because he always got it wrong. So he's like, I'm just not even gonna ask that no more.
Well, then my husband will ask, "So what size of crochet needle are you using?" Like, I'm not using. There's no such thing. There, I don't knit as often as I used to knit, so he's confused. He also will say, you know, when I'm sitting there crocheting, he'll say, "What you knitting?" Well, I'm not knitting nothing. Oh, by the way, Wednesday night, I may or may not be around later.
Okay, is that today he's coming home?
Yes, I have to pick him up from the airport at 6:30, but it's an hour away, and we've got to go and get dinner because he will have gone without food, and we'll get dinner and then come home.
Well, I
So
can tell you, Ladybug, the clover bamboo hooks I do not like, and I also do not like the clover bamboo knitting needles. They're too light. I need some weight in my hand. It just I've got them. I've got a whole set of them. I just don't care for them.
so Kathy, I did a video a while ago, but so I tried a prim, a clover, Sandra Bates, boys hook, a cheap dollar store one, and I did like one row on my lap gown of each one. They're all the same size. They're all sixes. I did one row on my lap gown, so it was at least 300 stitches of whether the singles, half doubles, doubles. So I did a continuous use of them. The prim I did not like because you got video. It was just like fingers on chalk, like the fingernails on a chalkboard. The clover. What was wrong with the clover? I didn't like the clover because it gripped. The handle was. I didn't like the handle on it. It was way too short. It was just no. Didn't like that at all. And that's how I ended up making my Frankenhook out of my
Mm-hmm.
toothbrush hook.
Well, I want
I
to buy
didn't
one
know what it is.
Nelson wood hook, not to use. I just want to buy one because the last time I looked, it was $107 for one hook. That's a lot of money, and I'm
Yeah.
not going to pay that much and take a chance on losing it, dropping it. So it's just going to go on a little holder so I can look at it because they are beautiful hooks.
What is it?
The Nelson wood hooks, he does it. He embeds the flowers in the handle in acrylic or resin.
Resin.
But he also has some beautiful rosewood hooks too. And I would like to try one of those. But man, the prices. And I understand there's a lot of work in it. I'm not, knocking. They're handmade. There's a lot of work that goes into them, especially sanding and everything to make them smooth. And I get that. But that's a lot of money.
Yep.
All right. I got a phone call. I just missed a phone call. I got to make a phone call back. So hope y'all had a good time. Join me. Jess will be on tomorrow for Bingo 2.0.
I will have a video tomorrow as well at 8
and
p.m.
then
So none
and
for me.
then
Hmm.
and then I'll be on Wednesday with my wood show. I'll be doing something with my wood show because I gotta make a case, so I'll do something with wood on
Now I
Wednesday.
have
Okay.
to go look up some more wood facts to talk about on Wednesday. I just
Lots
happened
of
upon that today, and I was just like, that was so cool. I had never heard that before. I never knew anything about this particular tree, and I just thought that was a neat information to pass on.
Hmm.
okay. So have fun, everybody. Take care, and we'll see you tomorrow, Wednesday. Have fun.
Night, everybody.
Good night. Hope to see you tomorrow. Bye.
Bye.